Hi there, welcome to the latest episode of my 10-minute moan. And this 10-minute moan was recorded yesterday while I attended the protest to the hate law arranged by the Glasgow Cabbie proposed by the Glasgow Cabbie and helped arranged by the Scottish Family Party. So thank you to both for inviting me along. And if you want to support the channel, you can either subscribe or become a member, but the easiest and quickest way to do it is click the wee thumbs up button at the bottom of each video. It'll help with the exposure. So, hope you enjoy this video. I took to the platform to discuss the hate bill, obviously, but more importantly to me, how the Scottish public could help in the demise of the SNP and give us a far better, fairer and democratic Holyrood going forward. Hope you enjoy it.
Please welcome Craig Houston.
Well, hi there. For weeks a long time in normal politics, and a month is an eternity in Scottish politics. We started as a movement on the 1st of April to rise against the regime and their hate crime laws that now has become an avalanche of desire to remove the most decrepit of governments we've seen since devolution. Since the launch of these idiotic new laws, we've seen a 74-year-old woman arrested from her home and driven 25 minutes away in a police van after one unsubstantiated complaint, while thousands who complained about Humza Yousaf received nothing more than a scripted response or a standard email. The silent majority now say enough is enough. We may be weary after 17 years of non-stop arguing about independence. We are tired after almost 2 decades of blaming Westminster, Brexit and Tories for the failings of Scotland, but we will find the energy to demand their removal. Both the Unionist and the Nationalist are burnt out with this one-trick pony of a party who failed both. Those who desire independence know they are further away from it than at any other time since 2014. The Unionist has grown tired of constantly being described as a traitor by what remains of the SNP cult following. Again, enough is enough. Those who earn slightly higher than average are being penalised for doing so, and those who struggle scratch their heads when they're told 100,000 kids are being taken out of poverty. They wonder where this promised fairer society is while they visit food banks. And they're led to believe that somehow it's because we are no longer part of the fantasy of a European Union, or somehow it's Westminster's fault. The game they chose to play was governing a devolved parliament, yet they chose to ignore the rules of devolution. The Scottish people are the referee in this game, and they will show you the red card. You decided to act like a single-party dictatorship while ignoring all who opposed you. Excuse me, my knees are a wee bit done today. I'm going to stand down here, that's better. Today, you beg for your opponent's favour as you hang on to the power by your fingertips. The Scottish public will ultimately be your judge, and they will sentence you to oblivion. A new beginning is on the horizon. A new type of politics is happening. We have the power to achieve this. We just need to believe in ourselves as much as I believe in the Scottish electorate. We can enforce change and a better parliament. My nirvana is a 2-step process. Step 1 is to destroy the SNP. This can be done by tactically voting in the next Westminster and Holyrood elections. This would financially bankrupt a party that's already morally bankrupt. And if we can decimate their seats by voting for a party who is best placed to beat them, and we do this in numbers, we could bury the SNP. I often hear excuses to tactical voting. Some claim that Labour or Tory will be no better than SNP. That fear can be nullified when you understand neither will spend a term ignoring everything other than independence and would be forced to improve Scotland with the devolved powers we have at our disposal. I often hear that it's time to vote for new or smaller parties, and I cannot dispute this. However, it's not going to destroy the SNP nor displace them. It's actually more likely to benefit them. But once step 1 has been achieved and the SNP are either finished or insignificant, we can then look to step 2. Step 2 is when the smaller and newer parties, plus independents, can prepare for the following Scottish elections. And we can go to the electorate and convince them that the new political landscape and they should choose the person best suited to serve them and their community at Holyrood and ignore the colour of the rosette. We can convince them to choose the best candidate who can form a parliament full of those committed to do what's best for Scotland. This, my friends, may be my nirvana, but if enough share this dream of ending SNP and building a better Holyrood, then it can happen, and it will happen. This is my dream, but it can become all a reality. Scotland has often led the world. Let us lead again in a new landscape for politics. We need to break the model and design a new one, but we need the old school parties to break the SNP first and then modernise with us to sculpture a new type of politics for Scotland. Why shouldn't Bob, the electrical engineer from Bathgate, not be sharing a bench with Labour, Tory or Liberal Democrat in Holyrood? Why shouldn't Mary, the teacher from Battlefield, be considered along with a career politician as the next presiding officer in Holyrood? This can be a reality, but it won't be handed to us. And it must start by burying the SNP. We can build a better system for both the nationalist and the unionist. We deserve a better future for the whole of Scotland. We've been told that Scotland isn't welcoming towards a minority. We've been told that hate is rife and intolerance is normal. This is simply not true. The truth is that the most hated people by Scots are other Scots. Our society's been ripped apart by the SNP as they drove a wedge between families, friends, neighbours and colleagues, as they made us all decide if we were nationalist or unionist. After the referendum, they were unable to let it rest, as they needed the dream of the nationalists to survive, or they simply wouldn't have a purpose to survive as a party. The wounds should have started healing after 2014, but the SNP needed to keep pulling the plaster to prevent the wounds from healing for their own selfish purpose. It was their survival mode instinct. This alienated the unionist and disappointed the nationalist, because a decade later, they've neither found a way for a second referendum or convinced enough people in independence. Every day I see more nationalists giving up their independence dreams or giving up the SNP's chances of delivering them. For everyone in Scotland, enough is enough. Let's rid ourselves of those who dreamt up the hated hate bill. Let's rid ourselves from those who, but for the grace of God, would have burdened us with the named person scheme and the gender recognition bill, and who forced their ideology on our children via the national curriculum. Let's tell our family, friends and neighbours of our dream. Let's tell everyone that we want a better Scotland for everyone. Enough is enough. We deserve better. Let's tactically vote them into obscurity. Have a great day. Bye now.
Thank you very much, Craig.
So there we go. I hope you enjoyed my wee rant outside Stewart Street Police Station. And as you can guess from the video, I want the SNP to be buried. And I think tactically voting is the easiest way to do that before we can change anything else in Scottish politics. Now, as soon as the elections are called, whether that be Westminster or possibly Holyrood first, I'll be on the drive to show people what parties they should consider voting if indeed they share my views on tactical voting. So, if you liked the video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, please do so and hit the notifications bell, and YouTube will let you know every time there's a new video coming out. And most importantly of all, unless you're Hamza, the SNP, or what's left of their cult, everyone else, have a great day. Cheery bye now.